Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, Lauren Frey, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon. I can't believe I didn't set my camera up. So I was kind of thinking earlier today that, wow, I have not heard a lot of people talk shit about RGT 85. It's been a while. I was thinking specifically of that instance last year where he was like ragging on Fire Emblem and Xenoblade for getting too many sequels. It was pathetic. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen. It's everything wrong with Nintendo YouTubers condensed into a single tweet, in my opinion. So, of course, rightfully I went after this guy. Rightfully I've talked about it, but like a lot of weird statements that come from gaming YouTubers, it was memory hold. It was forgotten. And first of all, that's a testament to how little these people's opinions actually matters in the long run. But I really wanted to reflect on this because I had this realization, right, about this situation. When Xenoblade stops getting made, right? When we reach the point where Monolith Soft decides that they're not really interested in pursuing future Xenoblade titles, when they feel like the series is over, when they want to make something new and fresh and original, when they want to move on to a new video game franchise, when or things fall apart, right? Like when Xenoblade games stop getting produced, if fans get alienated or things stop coming together. It's possible in the very, very near future that Xenoblade might stop getting made, right? You just know that the instant that happens, people just like RGT are going to come crawling out of the woodwork and then, gone too soon. What happened to Xenoblade? How could Nintendo disrespect this iconic franchise? We saw this with Metroid Prime, right? Where we got lots of really, really good games in the mid-2000s. Metroid Prime 1, one of the best games ever made. Metroid Prime 2, really solid sequel. Metroid Prime 3, a great innovative use of motion controls, great follow-up, great conclusion to the trilogy, right? Those games, throughout their entire life cycle, were derided. They were talked down to. People made excuses not to play them. There were all these unfair comparisons with Halo and other games at the time. They were written off and ignored, right? Pretty successfully, I might add. What happened? Oh, man, Metroid Prime, it needs to come back. Nintendo needs to give more attention to this iconic franchise. Metroid comes back with Federation Force. Oh, the same people. Oh, this isn't what we wanted. They come back with Samus Returns. Oh, this isn't what we wanted. And now we have Prime 4. Nobody's really excited for it at all, honestly. I feel the same way about Star Fox. I feel the same way about all these Nintendo IPs that make a real recovery. That go through these long periods of hiatuses or whatever. You see these people make these claims that I'm a big fan of this franchise, and then when the game actually comes out, they're nowhere to be found. And in these situations, when we have a renaissance period of certain franchises, stuff like Fire Emblem, stuff like Xenoblade, stuff like Zelda, you see these people really coming out and trying to make excuses. I'm not excited for Fire Emblem because we're getting too many of them. I'm not excited for Xenoblade because we've gotten too many of them. I'm not excited for Pokemon because we've gotten too many of them. It's the same thing over and over and over again. They're just never happy. Either we don't get enough games in any specific franchise, stuff like, F-Zero, Star Tropics, Ice Climbers, I've seen people talk about, Rhythm Heaven, WarioWare, Wario Land, Nintendo Switch Sports, Wii Sports. You'll see these people insist that these games are just, man, these are forgotten classics. If Nintendo brought this back, I would be all over it. I'd be super into these games. But when these games do come back, when Nintendo Switch Sports comes out of nowhere, what happens? When Mario Strikers comes out of nowhere, what happens? Oh, this isn't what I wanted, even though it's exactly what I said I wanted. It's it's pathetic. It really is just plain absurd, and I wish more people called it out for what it is. YouTubers making up controversies, making up something to complain about in order to make a video. Gotta get those clicks and gotta get those views, gotta make that ad revenue.